Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortentia Carty. And it's Tuesday, so I love to start today off with quotes. So Buddha said, no matter how hard the past is, you can always begin again. And remember, it's Tuesday. Don't forget to be awesome. Choose to smile, choose to love, choose to be happy.
All right, proceeding now to the latest in local news. This from SKNIS. Her Excellency Dame Marcella Liburd, GCMG JP, Governor General of St. Christopher and Nevis, saluted the sterling service of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force and pledged to work closely with them and other security forces to enhance safety and security in the Federation. Her Excellency Dame Liburd stated, quote, "To the Colonel, officers, rank and file of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force, as your Commander-in-Chief, I wish to register my appreciation for your loyalty, professionalism, and hard work. It is an honor to see you here on parade," end quote. This she said during her installation ceremony at Government House on February 4th, 2023. Dame Liburd fully embraced her responsibilities as the head of state and committed to supporting the Defense Force. Governor General Liburd said, quote, "I can assure you that your commitment to service and to safety and security of our Federation, working collaboratively with the law enforcement agencies, will not be taken lightly or for granted. During my tenure, I will engage and interact with you and see to your best interests," end quote.
We continue now. This from SKN Vibe. Dr. Hygienist Jean Leon, President of the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, and Ms. Andrea Power, Senior Advisor to the President of the Caribbean Development Bank, paid a courtesy call on the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew. Several pertinent matters of national and regional importance were discussed, including interregional travel, climate change, renewable energy, citizenship by investment, health, food security, and education. Prime Minister Drew shared with the President of the Caribbean Development Bank the nation's holistic economic strategies in the advancement towards a sustainable island state and the 7 pillars of development to attain that transformation. Dr. Leon appreciated the Prime Minister's vision regarding the sustainable island state concept and reiterated the importance of cultural connectivity to better identify as a region. He added that the bank is seeking to operate beyond the traditional form, but rather position itself for a more holistic approach, which he described as banking with a purpose. That is engaging in more integrated projects with multimodal functions. The President of the Caribbean Development Bank expressed his enthusiasm towards working closely with Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew on the future projects.
And in other news from SKNIS, the National Ozone Unit, NOU, within the Department of Environment, continues its project work on the Montreal Protocol with student data collectors. The Montreal Protocol, to which St. Kitts and Nevis is a party, addresses substances that deplete the ozone layer and is a landmark environmental agreement that controls the manufacture and the use of man-made chemicals that, in turn, damage the ozone layer, which is a protective shield from the harmful radiation of the sun to humans and the environment. Critical components of the Montreal Protocol include data collection and monitoring. The students are therefore charged with updating the 3-year-old national database of refrigeration and air conditioning technicians on both islands as part of the hydrochlorofluorocarbons, or HCFC phase-out management plan, which is one of the programs under the Montreal Protocol to phase out ozone-depleting substances. In stage 1 of the project, the students who all study natural sciences will engage at least 70 air condition and refrigerator technicians, especially in fisheries, yachting, and the hotel sector, who by nature of their jobs deal directly with the gases that weaken the ozone layer. The objective of the project is to achieve at least a 35% reduction in hydrochlorofluorocarbons used in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Now for your local weather forecast. It is partly cloudy with a high of 80 and a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It's currently 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your hourly and weekly weather and stay tuned. Regional and international news after this, a short break.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue now with the latest in regional news. Dutch royals begin tour of St. Martin, this from Loop Caribbean. King Willem Alexander, Queen Maxima, and Catharina Amalia, the Princess of Orange, have touched down in St. Martin to begin the fourth stop on their royal tour of the Dutch Caribbean islands. The royals landed at the Princess Juliana International Airport, where they were welcomed by Governor Ajume Bale and Prime Minister Silveria Jacobs. Their first engagement on the two-day trip was a tour of the airport, which was severely damaged by Hurricane Irma in 2017. The official schedule said day one on St. Martin would see the royals getting a first-hand view of hurricane reconstruction efforts. The King and Queen and the Princess of Orange will assist in a disaster exercise. They will then visit the St. Martin Medical Center and engage with patients before touring an expansion project. The royals will have lunch with government officials. In the afternoon, the royal party will be taken on the Color Me St. Martin mural walk in Phillipsburg. The day will conclude with a cultural show on the boardwalk in Phillipsburg. Day two will see the royals kick off their day with a visit to Fort Amsterdam. They will go on a birding excursion in search of the island's national bird, the brown pelican. While at the fort, the royals will receive a lesson on its history.
And in international news, this from CNN. Pope Francis called for peace on Saturday as he met a group of several hundred South Sudanese people internally displaced by war at an event in the country's capital, Juba. The Pope told the crowd gathered in the Freedom Hall, quote, "I want to renew my forceful and heartfelt appeal to end all conflict and to resume the peace process in a serious way. There is no room for delay," end quote. His words echoed his message to the country's leaders Friday evening when he criticized the stagnant peace process. The Pope's visit to South Sudan came days after the 86-year-old held mass for 1 million people in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, another country grappling with poverty and strife. Francis' trip to the DRC, the first papal visit since 1985, came as the African nation is beset by armed fighting and a worsening refugee crisis. This is where we end the latest for today. More Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. and who will be sent home with nothing. I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor. Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook,
and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Tennis Association is committed to promoting tennis through competitive and social tennis for play. As such, 15 young tennis players recently participated in the annual OECS Tri-Nations Invitational Tournament, which was held in Antigua. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with national coach Sheldon Shiverton and two of the players, Khalil Burrows and Ariana Blanchard. Good morning to you all and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Morning. Morning.
Okay, so for those of us who do not know what the Tri-Nations OECS tournament was, Coach, can you let us know what it was?
The Tri-Nation tournament has been going on since about 2019, but it kind of stopped due to the COVID. It's between St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Antigua.
Mystery Islands.
I think the first tournament we had, I think St. Lucia won it.
Okay.
But no, the last one we had, St. Kitts won it.
Ooh, look at y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, definitely in order. What I want to know from you, Coach, and the players as well, welcome again, of course, to JMSKN. What do you think accounted for that win this time around?
The players put in hard work. They had school classes, they had exams and whatnot, but they put in hours of work towards the tournament. They was training about 4 to 5 times a week.
Oh, wow.
For about 2 to 3 hours daily.
All right, so Ariana, what motivates you to play tennis as hard as you played?
Well, I really appreciate the support from the coaches and from my teammates and also my family. They really push me to be my best, and I really appreciate them.
Hello, what about you?
I feel like the competitive drive over there. I just wanted to win, having not playing in many regional tournaments.
Okay. All right.
Well, I know that you are, we should just let everybody know right here. Full disclosure, Khalil is my cousin. I consider him my baby cousin, but he's actually taller than me now, so I have to rethink that. But I know that you're dedicated, I'm sure that you're dedicated as well. Coach, if I have to turn to you now again and ask you about the place of tennis as it stands with young people, how you encourage them to play, what do you see for them in their future?
Well, I think the fact that they're actually traveling now and getting some national exposure, I think that's going to encourage more people to come to the sport. As we have this SKNTA junior program, that's 4 times a week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it's always packed. I think there's over 60-something people enrolled in the program.
Oh, wow.
Every day it's packed with students. We're shout out to coaches as well.
I was going to say that's a lot of work for you, I imagine.
Shout out to coaches.
So let's talk about training in preparation for the Tri-Nations OECS Invitational. During the COVID-19 pandemic, was training stopped or did you manage to resume?
Well, we managed to resume because tennis was one of the safe sports because it's a non-contact sport.
Okay.
So normally what we did, we had 2 on each side as a doubles, and the social distancing is automatic.
Okay.
And there's 3 courts, so it's easy to rotate.
So what happened if they bumped into each other during the time of COVID?
Luckily that never happened.
Alrighty.
All right, so let's talk about how you guys trained for the tournament. Khalil, I'll start with you.
I was training almost every day, basically, with a coach here.
Almost every day with your coach. Ariana, same?
Well, I would agree with him. It was hard, but it was also well paid off. We did well.
All right, so what I want to know now from you guys, obviously you're playing a sport, there are things that you're going to be good at, things that you consider to be your strengths, things that might be weaknesses that maybe the coach would help you work on. Were there any such areas for you to work on?
My backhand.
Your backhand, and how did you do with that? Did you get better?
Yes.
As good as you want to be?
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay, so you're going to have to work with the coach more. What about you, Ariana?
Well, I would consider my serves to be my greatest weakness. I'm pretty strong in my forehand, and my backhand it's doing good, but my serves, I really need to work on them.
Coach, is this accurate?
Yes. Well, also the fitness level as well. So we did fitness training and now they're up to par.
Oh, that's great.
What does the fitness training entail?
Okay. We do rigorous training. We do laps around the cricket field, and they run steps, they do weights, they do ladders, many maneuvers. They complain, but at the end, it paid off.
Good.
No, not Khalil. Khalil never complains.
Khalil complains a lot. Khalil complains a lot.
Ariana, what about you? Was it hard at times to do it?
Definitely, especially the push-ups, because I don't know. It's just something, I just don't think I could do them. But I tried and I got it done.
Good stuff. At least you tried. You pushed on.
And you? Anything to complain about with your coach here and everybody watching you?
The wheel.
The wheel?
Wheel.
The pushing in and out. Wow, that is a lot. Were the students aware of what was at stake when they were going to this second invitation?
No, because I thought it would be too much pressure on them.
Okay.
So they just thought they're competing for fun, basically.
Okay.
And that's why they play the best.
Oh, nice.
Have you two competed in regional competitions before?
Well, I have never. This was my first it was my first experience, and I would say it was a very exciting one.
Did you win in your category?
Well, I won the consolation round in my category.
Congratulations.
Right. What about you, Khalil?
I participated in Antigua in 2019 and then Barbados in April 2022 and now December.
All right, so in competing and seeing other people play, did you think that you were up to par? Were you threatened or intimidated by their performance? Did it make you want to work harder?
The past years, yes, they were way better than me. The level was, and then it just motivated me to train more and get better.
All right, so there's a place for this, coach, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, so what I want to know now from you guys, coach included, do they get a break or does the training continue?
Well, when we came back, I took a break. I took a break 2 weeks, and every day they're messaging me when we starting back training, when we can go to the park.
That's nice.
These two?
This one especially.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Khalil, you're ready.
Okay. Do you see professional tennis in your future? Well, let me finish it. Would it be something that you'd like to do perhaps even in college, if you could?
Well, right now I want to be a lawyer, but if that doesn't work out, I would definitely put a lot of emphasis on tennis because it's a really, really exciting sport. It drives me to do my best and I just love it.
I like when you say that. It drives you to do your best because you just talked about some challenges. You said they were grueling, but yet you didn't quit. So that speaks to the discipline.
Yeah.
What about you, Khalil?
I see tennis in my future, yes, but I'm also focusing on school and architecture.
Okay.
So we got 2 big careers coming up. So according to the PRO, because I did a little research, it took you guys several years to participate in a regional tournament. Why several years?
Because we were not a part of the ITF for a couple of years, and thanks to President Watkins, he got us back on track, got us back as a member, and got us back into the regional scene.
Good stuff.
All right, so we'll take a break and we'll come back to continue this conversation in a moment. Stay tuned, everyone.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We're speaking with Coach Shelton Shipperton and players Cal Burrows and Ariana Blanchard. Coach, I want to know about your experience at the tournament.
Well, I've traveled a lot as a national coach. Well, normally I travel as a manager for other sports, and it was kind of normal. The kids were not rambunctious, I must say. I dealt with the guys, because we had a female coach, and her name is Coach Lourdes, and she dealt with the girls, I dealt with the boys mostly. And it was a lot of running around late at night trying to get them to sleep. But they was always up early in the morning, and we were always first over by the court. They followed the instructions, and they listened to advice, which was a good thing, because Kalia went undefeated in his whole tournament experience, right down to victory. So I think it was successful, in my opinion, and I thought the girls did a good showing as well.
Nice.
Your coach seems very proud of you, and you guys should be proud of yourselves. What was your experience like? I hear that you guys just heard it. Didn't want to go to sleep at night. Was it the same for you?
Honestly, at night after playing, I was really tired. I just wanted to take a very hot shower. But since I had to recover, I had to take a cold one. I really just wanted to eat and get to sleep.
I'm not going to ask you about eating. I'm not even going to go there.
He was smiling a lot when the coach said he didn't want to sleep, but then the coach said you were excellent in waking up. How was that, Khalil? Tell us about that.
We would set alarms for like 5:30, and then we would all go around waking up each other and stuff like that.
Oh, that's sweet. So why didn't you guys go to sleep early then?
We just didn't feel like it would just stay up and talk to each other.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So how many people were there overall at the tournament?
60. Oh, you mean
from our contingents?
Yeah, 16.
16. Okay. So in terms of what you like, the camaraderie, you're talking to the guys and so on. Did you guys motivate each other? The girls motivate each other? Did you share tips? What was going on? Ariana, sorry.
The girls definitely motivated me, especially the ones who were my superior, I would say. I was sharing a room with 2 girls who really inspired me and helped me to do my best in the competition.
Okay, that's important. That's great. What about you?
We would motivate each other in a kind of harsh way, but
in a kind of, never mind. In a kind of harsh way.
I want to know the harsh way. I want to know the harsh way, Khalil. Tell me about the harsh way.
We would shout after each other and tease each other and stuff like that.
Okay, but it was all in good fun.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. So is this the first time any of you went to Antigua, with the exception of Coach? Because Coach, I'm sure you went before?
Yeah.
Okay. So how was your trip there? What did you learn about Antigua?
The culture, I would say, is a bit similar to ours. Their accents. I love how Antiguans speak. I tried to perfect it, but it didn't really go along with.
Okay.
But I on the tour we saw a lot of their natural beauty, and it was beautiful.
Nice. Hello?
The Antigans, the style of play really amazed me. The serve, you could tell they practice and work on the serve a lot.
Hello was immersed in the gameplay.
All right, so let's talk about your category. So Ariana, you played in the under 12 girls category, Khalil in the under 14 boys category. Talk about your experience during that.
Well, there weren't a lot of girls on the 12, especially on the 14, but there were enough, and it was, in my opinion, it was challenging, but I came through and I won, I think, one of my 2 matches.
Okay, congratulations.
All right, what did you feel when you won that?
It was, as I said before, it's a driving feeling. It was like I could just go on to the next person and beat them 6-1.
Love it. And Mr. Undefeated, excuse me. Talk about that feeling from match to match, game to game. Did you ever feel relaxed, or, were there nerves going into it?
After watching the players, I realized that I felt confident. I could have beaten them, and as the game progressed, I was just relaxed.
Okay, good to know.
That's good. So I want to know about the future plans, and I'm going to ask this question. Other than the St. Kitts National Olympic Committee, who else can help the Tennis Association get to the Davis Cup?
I know going towards the trip, many people helped. I don't know all the names because I'm just the coach.
Okay.
But I know many people are invested in the sport, and many people send their children to the sport. I want to see them go further, so I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think if tennis picks up like any other sport, like football and basketball in St. Kitts, and we get more exposure, I think the government also will look at us as something that, yes, St. Kitts can be known for tennis.
Okay. Is there any scholarships or any other tangible items attached to being part of the Tennis Association here in St. Kitts?
Yes, there's scholarship opportunities. Well, I think the last one I heard of was in Texas.
Okay.
I also got an opportunity for a coaching scholarship as well. It was 3 months, but I really can't do it. Yeah, so we already short the coaches and can't leave them.
All right.
Well, there's a lot of sacrifice, so we appreciate your sacrifice. You realize how much your coach is sacrificing for you and future players. I know that you appreciate it. All right, so are there any upcoming tournaments?
There's the Valentine's Mixed Tournament at the end of this month. I think it's going to run the last 3 days in the month, and it's going to be a senior player with a junior player. So you might see the AG guy playing again because he played with Korea last year.
Okay.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
And the one according to him.
No doubt. All right, so opportunities to encourage. I mean, I know that you said you have membership, the children keep coming, the parents keep coming. I want to give you guys, first of all, an opportunity to let people your own age know why they should perhaps sign up with your coach, or just to play tennis in general. Khalil, you go first.
Tennis is a fun sport. You might not enjoy it at first when you just started off, and it's like football. Like football is exciting, tennis is exciting, but more people lean towards football than tennis.
I think tennis really builds up your confidence and your brain, your mental part of your brain, because it's a lot of mental, and when you play it, it's like you can't get enough of it until you're tired and can't go anymore. But it's really a fun sport, and I would encourage everyone who would like to play tennis to come and get the opportunity, because I really thank my father for putting me into it, honestly.
Okay, that's so good to know.
So, Coach, can you handle any more students at this moment, and how can they sign up? How can they reach out to the Tennis Association?
Well, they can come to the park, any of the active days, and they can just easily sign up. And the activity, well, the norms are at 4:30. I'd already gave you the active days, so they just start to Coach Watkins, and they'll go from there.
4:30 on what days?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, all right.
You guys work hard.
The reason it's broken up is because they're different age groups.
Okay.
So I think Monday and Friday are under 10s, and the senior, well, the older players play on Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
All right, so any final words from any of you?
Come to tennis.
Come to tennis, that's it. Come to tennis.
Yes.
And perhaps present challenges for these two successful players that you have here.
Exactly.
Interesting to watch you guys play. Maybe even play each other. I'm putting that out there. In a fun game. Fun game.
Because Ariana's face.
Ariana's like, no way. All right. We want to thank you guys for coming and speaking with us. Congratulations again, and we wish you every success. We're hoping to have, great words from you in the future.
Yes.
And Coach, thank you for the job that you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
More GMSKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris Ramon. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
The popular TikToker Laura Whaley has over 3 million followers as she's known as an advocate for corporate workers. Laura is mainly known for her videos of professionally saying what we really want to. For this segment, we'll be going through some of our favorite picks from Laura's corporate language responses. Let's take a look. How do you professionally say, "I'm not staying late to deal with this"? Well, Laura says it this way: "My workday concludes at 5, but I will prioritize this first thing tomorrow morning." Does that work? Perhaps.
I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking the boss may say, okay, she keeps doing that, she's going to get fired.
Depends on your environment, I guess.
Yep.
But realistically, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Stay in your lane.
Thanks for your input. I'll keep that in mind. Staying in your lane. Thanks for your input. Are you telling the boss thanks for your input, or are you telling your fellow coworker thanks for your input, and I'll keep that in mind so you're not being rude?
I think this is more, well, you can't tell the boss to stay in your lane, can you?
No, you'll be sent home. And as you rightfully said before, it depends on the relationship, but that's kind of rude still. Like, stay in your lane.
I think it's another coworker that perhaps is trying to give you advice on things that are within your domain, perhaps. And so, yeah, it's like, stay out of this. This has nothing to do with you.
I'm going to give you a little chuckle. Yesterday, I was in a certain establishment, and two coworkers were speaking to each other, and the one was like, "Where are you going now?" She'd be like, "But it's my break." And she'd be like, "But what if we have something to do?" So the girl said, "When I come back," she said, "But you're gonna steal all my ideas." So her rebuttal was, "But I don't want any ideas, they ain't even good anyway." And she'd be like, the next coworker be like, "Okay then, see you when you come back." Yeah, listen, I wanted to laugh so hard, right? But I had to continue because it's how to come out. Your ideas ain't even good anyway, so may I steal them?
Yeah, how do you professionally say that? Not that way.
She said it yesterday. But it's how she said, "Okay, I see you when you come back." She just conceded. She just didn't even, maybe she felt hurt, but because there were others in the area that aren't familiar with their relationship, she probably just conceded and moved along. And when she comes back, she just said, "But girl, how you share me, son?" Maybe that might be the case, or maybe something they're accustomed to.
Yeah. This one here, stay in your lane. Thanks for your input. I'll keep that in mind. You know what else works here? Ignorance. Ignoring. Let me say that.
Ignoring.
There's some people who hear what you have to say. They don't say anything. They look at you like this. And they know that they're not going to implement anything. Either because the ideas you said is not good, or they just don't see it that way.
Okay.
So they don't even have to say, "Thanks for your input, I'll keep that in mind."
Yeah.
They might say, "Okay."
Politely say, "Okay."
They'll lie and they'll say, I'll consider it." And we know that they won't. All right. How do you professionally say, "That sounds like a you problem"? According to Laura, she says it this way: "I understand that falls within your scope of responsibility, but I'm happy to support where it makes sense." And this is a lot of fluff, effectively, to say that sounds like a you problem. Otherwise, it means, yeah, this is on you. I have nothing to do with it. This is what you're responsible for. Leave me out of it. I am not looking for additional work.
Yeah. But Laura said in business school, they didn't cover the basics of communicating to colleagues professionally. So she taught herself and she just brought it to the masses. So I guess this is her teaching us here to how to communicate with a bit of empathy. So although we're letting them know how we feel, it comes off professionally and a bit on the softer side.
Really? So are we training a group of people to be liars, but to do so in a professional way?
But I don't think she's lying. She's basically letting them know this is how it goes, because she said, I'm happy to support you where it makes sense. So I'm not going to be in your folly, but I'm going to support you.
Is she? Or does this operate to say it goes back on you and yeah, you can leave me alone? I'm only going to be here for support. Really, that's your thing. That's what you're responsible for. Hence, a you problem. And so, you know, some people might say, figure it out. I don't know. It depends, right?
Well, she's also a mental health advocate, so maybe that's why she's being so
but I'm
coy
just thinking,
with her words.
after we've gone through these things, like if anyone tries to use this on me, or if you guys try to use it on somebody else, they might probably know these things and realize exactly what you're saying without the fluff.
But as I said, it's not too harsh. It's professionally said. And she's just telling you, if you're doing folly, I'm not supporting you. But once you're doing sense, you got my support.
She sounds like a politician. They say in 1,500 words what we can say in 10 in any event.
All right. I didn't respond to your email yesterday because you sent it at 8 p.m. My inbox is monitored between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So please don't expect a response outside this window. You have to have boundaries. So this is fair enough. You can get me between 8 and 5. After 8 and 5, it's my unwind time. I no longer work.
That you have to offer an explanation for something like that is beyond me, though.
But as I said, she's a mental health advocate. So depending if she's dealing with an anxious person that has issues, she has to put it over softly. She has to make sure there's a pillow there so they can understand. Like, I'm not being mean, but this is where I draw the line. 8 to 5, after 5. That's my time, because I'm preparing once more for 8 again the next day.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Fair enough.
Don't agree, but whatever works.
But you can put in your 2 cents.
All right. So how do you professionally say, I've told you this so many times, can you please write this down? Do you want to know how I would professionally say that, or do you want to know how Laura
we want to know. We want to know. We want to know how you would professionally say that.
Because I'll be like, here's a notepad, here's a pencil. This is the last time I'm telling you this, because I have other things to do than to repeat myself to you concerning mundane tasks. That's me.
This is why she softened it. She has been having a pillow there for them to fall back on, but still telling them as it is.
So what I said was unprofessional?
Boy, that was kind of harsh.
It was harsh, but it was definitely professional. We're working. I have other things to do other than to tell you the same thing 25 times.
Okay.
Laura says, I encourage you to, you see that word, it loses the weight in any event. I encourage you to document and save this information so that you can access it in the future should you need it. And you might encourage me, but I will come back to you and ask you the same thing all over again. And you've encouraged me, but you've not insisted that I do it.
Okay, so she should say, I insist you document and save this information so you can access it in the future should you need it.
Really, go as far as to pick a notebook from the storeroom and give a pen and say, when I tell you something, or when you come to my office and write it in this. Chances are you'll find a reference to everything that we've already discussed. It'll save your time and mine.
Okay.
Especially when I'm not available. And that is the softening part, especially when I'm not available, which I won't be if I see you coming to my office.
Oh my God, what are you going to do? Poof and disappear? You're going to become ghosts? You're going to become transparent so I can't see?
No, I'll be on a call. That's important.
With nobody at the end of the other line?
Well, I'll be dialing, whether or not the answer is material.
Oh my gosh. Did you even try finding the answer to this before asking me? I encourage you to use the resources that you have access to prior to reaching me for support. If you are still unable to find the answers after doing your own research, I'm happy to assist you. So she's allowing you to do your thing, and then if you run into difficulties, she is your...
Really?
She's your assistant.
Here's my take on this. We have people with limited attention spans, and really what I see is 5 lines of a lot of fluff that effectively doesn't get that message out as clearly as it could be out. Did you even try finding the answer to this before asking me? That's
how
a
would you
question
say
that
it?
invites a response and a discussion. I don't think that there needs to be a discussion on something like that.
Okay.
Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. You're hired for this task. I would
Okay.
appreciate if you do that before.
Okay.
Not a question. And that's just me.
Okay. So it's a statement, straight for you.
Because if I have to answer everything that you want, why are you necessary? And if employees start to think that way, they don't understand it. Granted, if she has the answer, why would you spend time going to source X, Y, and Z who might not have the answer when you know where the answer lies? But I guess it's a problem.
What if that source disappears? Then you have to be knowledgeable on what it is you're trying to find out.
You know what? What she's really saying here is use your initiative.
Yeah.
That's really what she's saying. I encourage you to use your initiative. That's fine. All of that, I don't know. Yeah, that's why we're having this discussion, I guess. Yeah. Our culture is a little different, I suspect, because we tend to be a little harsher in these parts, and then we gloss it over with a smile and a wave, and we say everything's fine. Hey,
Smile and wave.
show teeth. Be good, right? Not always. In any event.
I'm not doing your job for you. Yeah, this is straight. I would have said that in my previous job. I'm happy to support where needed. However, this task falls within your responsibility. But we just say the top part.
Well,
so we don't fluff it out around these parts.
Yeah, I'm not happy to support you where needed when it falls within your scope of responsibilities. I'm not going to be happy about helping you do what you're paid to do while you get the credit because it falls within your scope of responsibility, and I am left doing what? Being your cleanup person?
Not necessarily, but
listen,
the assistant. But I would have said I'm not doing a job for you straight up.
Everybody, this is the thing. I think everybody needs to learn to bear their own weight, accept responsibility, and not expect things to be, an environment where everything is so cushioned. It's weird to me because we just think that people are there for when we want. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, you're supposed to support me because it's our job. It's our job, but it's your paycheck. Actually, that's what I would say. In response to that, it's our job, but your paycheck.
Okay. Yeah.
You start to slack off, I'll accept some of your paycheck on mine.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
They're never gonna ask you anything.
That's
or to
the point,
filling
because I have my own work to do. Great.
Yeah.
That's the message, Cortencia.
Yeah, but I would have used that because you would have helped them once, you would have helped them twice, and then it becomes a burden where they're thinking, oh, Carty gets there early, she's gonna do it. So the third time I had to fill in, I'd be like, nah, you're making this a habit. I can't do this for you anymore because I have my things to do. So you have to do your job, and today is one of them days I didn't do anything. So
yeah,
as we would say in the Caribbean, walk your shift.
Yeah, I'm not happy to support you where needed. Don't lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry, I'm gonna lie to you. Yeah. All right, so how do you professionally say my workload is so heavy because you keep rewarding good work with more work? Just like that.
So this is to the boss?
With a smile.
Yeah. I appreciate the opportunity to take on more responsibilities. However, my workload has become quite heavy, and I would like to understand which items are priorities so that I can focus my efforts there.
No. With all due respect, yesterday, X, today, Y, Z, deadlines. Yeah. I'm doing the work of 3 people, and I'm getting paid for 1.
Ooh.
Can we renegotiate here? Because I think it's fair. Because I don't want to be exploited, and I don't want your work to suffer either. Is there a compromise? You see, I approach these things as though there is a balance of power. Is that what we do in these parts? Not necessarily. We sort of like smooch. Yeah, sorry.
No, but as you said, if they give us the work, then they have to give us timelines.
But even so, there are some people who, by virtue of their positions, don't really care how you do the work and don't really understand all the things that you're required to do in completing the tasks. They just know that they've assigned something to you. And that's a very abstract way of looking at it. But if you're supposed to do X, they're not going to drill down and realize that X requires you to go to A to Z before you get to X.
Yeah.
and get it done. They literally just say, do this. And it's like, well, what happened? Did you not do that? Why is it not done? And they don't really want to hear what you have to say. They just know that they gave it to you and they keep doing more. And so in a case like this, I'm sorry, but I'm really good with speaking up and speaking my mind. And I will do so with a smile in your eye. I will even come to you. Yeah. And we'll talk about it.
Indeed, indeed. Sure will.
How do you professionally say?
So there we have it for how do you professionally say. So folks, speak your mind, don't be bombarded. Remember, your mental health is important, but be mindful how you communicate what you have to say. It doesn't have to be with too much fluff, it doesn't have to be with less fluff, but find the middle ground. And with that said, see you on the other side of this short break.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Being immersed into the professional world can be a frightening and sometimes overwhelming situation. For today's segment of Loosen Up, Jamie and I will be speaking about some of our professional experiences that led to personal development. So, Jamie, have you ever encountered a situation where you've had to find a more professional way of saying what's really on your mind?
I think we all have. And that's actually one of the reasons that I'm quite reticent. If you know me very well, you'd realize that I don't speak a lot, which is weird because some of you only know me in this form, but I really don't. I'm actually very quiet because I'm always thinking about, well, not always, but generally thinking about, if I say what's on my mind, is this going to be akin to the atomic bomb? And while I might be ready to deal with the fallout, I think the devastation that I will leave in my wake doesn't justify my speaking my mind. And so I will take a break. I've been in situations where people are asking or saying certain things I don't agree with. Things begin to get heated, and this is generally what I do. Could you give me a minute? Excuse me for a minute. In some of those situations, I actually haven't gone back. excuse myself, and the next day comes, and I just, you think I'm coming back in 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, if I go back there, this is going to be a very volatile situation, so let's not even do it. And the thing is, what I find is that there are certain people who think that because they're talking, it means that you're listening. And so when you're in that situation where your supervisor or whoever is talking, the more they talk, the more they think that they're, getting that message across, and you're not saying anything, so it means that you're understanding. Fortunately, I developed a poker face. So you might think that it's penetrating. I am being professional by not showing you.
Okay.
I'm soaking it up, but I'm going to remove myself professionally to release everything that I've absorbed.
Okay, fair enough.
That was a lot.
Yeah. I've had a situation like this in my previous job when we started sharing the aircraft where we had 2 stewardesses. We always had, well, as they would say in the big ones, the purser and the junior. So one day I was the junior, and I flew with this particular flight attendant, and she seemed to would have had some tips or whatever you want to say about me. So we're there, we're doing work, whatever. She stays in the, first I came on the aircraft, I said good afternoon, she doesn't answer. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I was cordial. I proceeded to the front, I'm doing my checks, whatever. And I said, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. But then eventually I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be the bigger person because she's older. And I went down and I had a conversation with her, and she's like, I'd be like, if this is how we're gonna work, I can take my suitcase now and I can come off. Very well knowing that the flight won't go anywhere. I was ready to deal with the repercussions. And then she started and she said, oh, I've been acting like this since I got engaged and blah, blah. And I'd be like, no, we're not here to talk about that. You said a lot of bad things about me. I have reciprocated the same. But this is not what we're going to do today. We're either going to squash this and we're going to work. And that's how it's going to go. We never got to the manager. And we worked well straight out the bat after that. And then right away she starts coming and telling me all the problems, and be like, no, sweetie, remember, we're not here for that. We're just here to go from point A to point B and get a work done. We're not doing that because I don't want to be in that space. And that's how I dealt with that.
All right.
And from that, I was respected immensely.
Well, there you go. Sometimes you've got to speak up, even if they don't want to hear it. Doesn't mean raising your voice.
Yeah.
There are other ways to speak up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So professional growth you've seen over the past 5 years, professional growth you've seen, define growth.
I would say the way you behaved back then is not the same way that you behave, or growth can also be defined as moving ranks up the ladder. This is in my...
Yeah, I guess you. I don't know, growth is one of those things. We see it. I guess if you're part of an organization, you want to view it as an organism, a living, breathing, moving thing, right? It's thriving. So in that organization, the question is, what is your contribution to it to enable it to grow and thrive? And is that meaningful? Professional growth you've seen over the past 5 years, this is, yeah, sometimes you've seen things and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's not always good, it's not always bad, those sorts of things. It's difficult to pin down, really, if you're looking at a 5-year period, because again, some things require, some institutions require adaptation, especially when we're talking about COVID. Some ideas that you've had might not be relevant. You might have had them a few years ago, and you might need to tweak if you're considering those things that you need to respond to in your market. So it's interesting because growth for one person might not be growth for another person. Growth might be hiring more staff. For me, it's like, but what is that staff engaged in? And what is the value? So it's different.
Yeah. So each organization, as you rightly said, growth is different and individual. Because I wouldn't put it on 5 years, as you would have said. I would have gone way back. When I started my career as a flight attendant, I was timid. Although I would say a personable, extroverted person, I was like, oh, I can't do this. And I grew from being that person that, although it was my dream job, I couldn't do it, to being one of the absolute best, that I can say it without water in my mouth. If they were to rehire today, I would be one on the list to be called back. Because I was that person. I did my work. I dealt with conflicts well. I hardly was in the manager's office at all. No, I don't think I ever. I only went there for, what do you call it? What is it called? Ooh, when they tell you how good you're doing.
Okay, performance evaluation.
Performance evaluation, yes, yes. That's the only time I was actually in there. So I would have said, in the 12 years, I would have grown immensely. My speeches, everything would have elevated, I think, to the highest level that I could have gotten whilst there, because I did a 12-year tenure. Well, COVID shut me down earlier, but yeah, I think I did my best. So I went from point A in 2008 to a whopping point Z, can I say that? In 2020, yeah.
You know, as you talk about performance evaluations, ties in with our next point, which is the areas that you're still improving on. I want to know if anybody else has had this experience where if your manager changes and you get a performance evaluation, that seems to be so subjective that the things that you were good at, that you continue to be good at, you get marked down for because there's somebody else doing the evaluation. So when managers change, sometimes the way that they assess you obviously will change, but it doesn't mean the way that you work changed. It just means that the feedback that you get from your work based on the individual who's assessing you changes. I want to know if there's anybody else who has experienced that conflict with change of management and the assessment that you get despite you working pretty much the same way, because there were things that you'll get lower marks for just because there was a new manager. So you might have gone from, I don't know, a 90 or an A in 3 skills. I know it happened to me, and I didn't take it personally because I thought it was subjective. And then I got an even like average rating for something, and I'm like, where are you? You know, because I've been doing, you know, it was weird, and I wanted to argue it, and I didn't argue it. Because I said it doesn't make sense. It's like, where did you come up with these things? And you want to say that, right? But then you just like, yeah.
Did you think that the previous manager was engaged in some form of flattery? Did it made you feel that way? Okay.
No, consummate professional, skilled at, you know, what he or she was doing. And then I guess it comes with experience. And sometimes you're new on the job. Sometimes you don't know exactly. It's not like you're checking the past evaluations. Maybe you're new to the job. So this is how you see things, and you're being modest in your assignment of grades or whatever. But that could also easily communicate to the person who's working that, yeah, maybe I need to change a few things, or maybe you're just not reading me the way that my previous manager read me. And that might itself breed conflict. So if you want to improve those areas, I would say improve those areas that you know you want to work on, take the feedback, but also understand that the feedback is subjective. And with that in mind, it'll help you to understand it to the extent where you can say, I'll take this, but not that.
Yeah. And I've had that, because Jamie, whilst we were training online to be let off on our own to run the cabin by ourselves, we had like several trainers. So you, Jamie, come today, you boost my self-esteem, you like how I'm doing everything. The trainer that comes the next day, no, do it this way, do it that way. So every time I went out with a new trainer, I literally, Jamie, had to adjust to what they like. So I just listened to them, and I did everything. And at the end of this entire training, I just tweaked it and made it quartentous. So when they did come again, they'd be like, oh my gosh, she's good. How did she get? But you know, I didn't let them see me flinch. I did not allow them to see me frown. I did not push my mouth up. Maybe I did it in the bathroom, but not in their presence, you know. But eventually they had nothing to say to me. But did I allow it to frustrate me? Nah, I just say, oh my gosh. So I write down every day, like, okay, Jamie wants this. B wants this, C wants this. And then I just worked with it. So if C came today, Jamie, I was on C's work rotation. So whatever C thing worked for them, because they weren't, to me, initially, they weren't allowing you to be yourself. They thought this is how it had to be done. So when you eventually grew into your profession and they looked at you, they'd be like, wow. I swore they even ended up copying off of the youngin, which was me. Okay. Because it was like, wow, she did that.
Yeah, one of the things that really annoys me, I said it frustrates me when you were saying you didn't let it frustrate you. One of the things that frustrates me, and I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people who could relate to this, if you've got different managers at different tiers and they're operating in the same space at the same time, wanting different things, expecting different things, and communicating that to you as the employee, and then they're not communicating with each other about what they communicated to you, you could easily get frustrated because you know that when Y came in here, this is the way that Y wanted it, and Y told me to do this because of 1, 2, and 3. But here comes X, oblivious to what Y said to me, who says, you know, don't do that, do this. And I'm like, this is me internalizing everything. And I'm like, the words just, if words could come out of my mind so that everybody else could see this, I'm literally like, I'm not your yo-yo. I'm not your ping pong ball. I'm not your go-between to do as you want. It's like communicate with each other. Because I think a lot of these problems stem from a lack of
communication.
Effective communication. Because for some people, communication is telling. It's not a two-way street. And so I tell you what I want. You do it. But then somebody else tells you, you've got that conflict with, boss said this when you were out, the other one said this. What do I do with all that information? And it's like, but nobody's listening because you're just telling.
Yeah. No, when push came to shove and we had something like that, we'd be like, because one year we had so much conflict online once we got those planes where 2 persons had to work with each other because the seniors were acting like they were gods. And it was like their way or no way. So you had to learn how to deal with each one when you go out there. And then eventually, as I said, put my foot down because there was a second one that said she thought we had beef. I said, wait, we cooking cook-up so early this morning. She started laughing right there. And then Jamie, conflict done, was quite saying about that. Like, simple as making a joke as that. Because I'm like, no, beef? Ain't we cooking cook-up so early? 4:30 in the morning? No. She just cackled, literally. And it was done at that. Because I don't know, we ain't got no beef, no.
You see, you've got to know your audience. And the thing is, I question how many people actually do. Because one of my biggest things, I go back to it, it's like, communication is definitely key. If I were to think back again on the most memorable experiences from my first years in the professional world, I probably wish that people would say things to me more professionally, because that had the... I'm serious. I'm so serious that you're laughing at it, but literally, I was on.
I'm wondering what?
Huh?
I'm wondering what. That's why.
Listen, if I talk to certain people the way that they talk to me, I would be like happy, and they would be so upset, right? Like seriously. I'd be happy though. I'm sure you would be. I was at a business place with a person, I think it was a government office. I'm not going to name the person, I'm not even going to name the place.
Please don't.
But the boss came out, suffice it to say, and it's a well-known person. Boss came out, suffice it to say, and was disciplining a worker, or at least attempting to discipline a worker in the most unprofessional way about something that he told her to do, and she let him have it. Because he was just talking to her. He didn't care that I was there. He didn't know who I was. He didn't care that other people were around. He's just being condescending, which I thought was really not appropriate. But again, this is, I guess, what some would consider to be, who some would consider to be a magnate. So you accept that behavior depending on who it comes from. Rubbish. Bring it here. You'll see where I send it. In any event. So, yeah, he did that. And she answered him right away. She was curt. She was rude. She was equally rude. She matched his rudeness. And I thought, good for you.
And what happened after that?
He went back into his office. But he was still hyped and she was still hyped. So you realize it's like, we didn't resolve this. And it's ridiculous. It's like, you bring that to me? Hortensia, when I tell you that I'm reticent because I know that the atomic bomb will be let off. And when that happens, I'm not going to have any regrets.
Oh, gosh. Well, we don't need any bombs over
here.
So
yeah, you do sometimes. Because some people need to be shaken up, honestly. Because they do things in a way that is irreverent, in a way that is not considerate of anything else or anyone else but the goal. And sometimes the goal, the marker needs to be moved.
Okay.
But who are you going to say
Fair
that
enough.
to? I keep my mouth shut.
But keeping your mouth shut doesn't get the problem solved, does it?
It's not my problem, is it? That's a you problem.
Okay. All right, see, he's using the professional language in the workplace that he learned earlier.
Okay, it's not a me problem.
That's a you problem.
Hopefully that's not your problem. In any event, we'll be back in a moment with more GMS Scan. Stay tuned.
exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yesterday, we reviewed the 2023 Grammys red carpet fashion. It's time for us to hop into a time machine. And we'll be going back in time to review some of the Caribbean artists that have won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. We'll be going from the 90s to the most recent winner. That's way back, three whole decades. Some of you were not even thoughts for your parents.
They weren't thoughts of the parents, but they were thoughts from the Most High.
Yeah.
You knew they were coming.
If you've got fun parents, they'll be like, yeah, and if I thought about you, you wouldn't be here.
I saw this meme. The teachers basically told the children something that's done in the dark yields. Children that make mistake in the dark yield something. I can't remember exactly, but the child's rebuttal was parents that make mistake in the dark have something outcomes, and the child had to go out of the class.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't remember it in its entirety at all. Yeah. So parents don't make mistakes in the dark.
Somebody's gonna make a reggae song out of that one. Maybe.
Don't make mistakes in the dark. Yeah. Yes.
1985. Black Uhuru.
Uhuru, the anthem. I don't know that song. I don't know that one, but I know of Black Uhuru. I heard some of his songs, but I don't know any of it.
See, I don't even know the group. I don't even know the guy. I go Black Uhuru. Okay.
And do you know when the Grammy Awards started? It was called the Gramophone Awards.
Okay, I can see why.
Yeah.
Okay, got style.
But it's funny that only Jamaica has all the reggae groups. But I guess because reggae was born out of Jamaica, that's why. Because there's nowhere else in the Caribbean that I find have reggae groups that are recognized like the reggae groups or the artists from that one Caribbean nation, Jamaica.
You realize that's why people think that Jamaica is the
Caribbean?
capital of the Caribbean. Because they're
I
good.
said I think Jamaica's the Caribbean.
Branding. They're good at branding.
Yeah.
They've been good at a lot of things.
Yep.
Right.
They won that first one. Yep. Yeah, tribute to Bob Marley. But what about 1986? We had Jimmy Cliff with the Cliffhanger. 1987, we had Steel Pulse. 1988, we had Peter Tosh. 1989, that's when Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers put their mark on the Grammy map. 1990, Ziggy Marley won again, so that's back-to-back wins for him with the Melody Makers. And then in 1991, that's when Bunny Wailer, Time Will Tell, a tribute to Bob Marley won. So in between there, we had winners, y'all. We had winners. Nice. I don't know Bunny Wailer.
Yeah, if you do that album cover today, it wouldn't fly. But in 1991, it was pretty.
Why?
Are you kidding? It looks like an amateur did it, based on how technology has evolved. But
because
at the time,
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I get you. It's big volume.
It's vintage.
Yeah.
And the colors, though.
Yeah. Yes. Do you remember this song?
Who could forget Mr. Bombastic?
But guys, we missed out 1992, Shabba Ranks. 1993, Shabba Ranks. Who remember Trilla Little Girls? Who remember Trilla Little Girls? Any of you? Jamie, do you remember Trilla Little Girls?
No.
Jamie, you don't remember Trilla Little Girls everywhere.
Oh,
From
that
London.
one. Okay.
Yes, that was in 1992, and then 93 he won again with Ting-a-ling-a-ling, School Bell Ring. Yes, you don't remember that one too? Everybody ought to know this one. Even the young people ought to know Ting-a-ling-a-ling. And then 1994, Inner Circle with, how could we forget that anthem? Bad boys, what you gonna do? They're from Jamaica as well. That song was the introductory song to the series Cops, and the Bad Boy franchise used that in every single movie.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, how could we forget 1995? Bunny Wailer and Crucial Roots Classic. They won again. And then 1996, they call me Mr. Boombastic. Yeah. Everybody ought to know that one.
Definitely so. They should.
Yeah. That was a big hit. His voice. But the album cover though, Jamie, too much yellow. And the contrastive green, I can't even see the little prints on it. But hey, that was what was trending then. Yep. Like when I see the shades with that yellow, the yellow, the silver. How did they get those two to match back then?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The silver rims and the yellow lens. You don't remember those?
Oh,
ones? Nobody's gonna wear those now. Well, yeah. Maybe because Shiny's coming back, as we noticed from the Grammys. Almost everybody was shiny. It was the night of shiny. Yeah, right. So 1997, Bunny Wailer, Hall of Fame, a tribute to Bob Marley, 50th anniversary. And then 1998, Ziggy Marley on the scene again. Do you know he's the most decorated Caribbean reggae artist? He has 7 Grammys to date as of 2017. Yeah, so, yeah. Doing good. And the Melody Makers. Is that Lauryn Hill? No. Looks so, but it doesn't look so. Is that Lauryn Hill? All right. 2001. Okay, y'all, we missing 1999. Sly and Robbie and the Friends. They won a Grammy Awards. They won a Grammy Award for that. Beanie Man, Art of Life. I don't know a song from that one. I don't know. Looks nice. You remember when the Corey Shell was a big hit? Oh, you don't know what? No? Okay. Jamie don't notice that. All right. Wow. Y'all. I will fill in all the ones that we're missing, right? So, 2000, we had Burning Spear, Calling Rastafari. For some reason, y'all, I found that CD whilst I was cleaning up on the weekend. It's actually playing in my car. Well, I guess my husband put it there, because he remembered Burning Spear. And then in 2002, Damian Marley with Halfway Tree. And then 2003, we had Lee Scratch Perry with the Jamaican E.T. Never knew Jamaican had extraterrestrials. Yep. And then 2004, Dirty Rock. I don't remember any songs from that album though.
I can't say that I do either.
No. Yeah. You know, I think I do, you know. I'm so in love. Is that from that? Okay, I have to. Maybe that's what Dirty Rock is. With you, girl. Not sure. And Damian Marley. We all know this one. Out in the street, they call it murder. Welcome to Jamrock. This was a big one. This song was all over. I remember when myself and my friend, we used to watch VH1 and we used to always call each other, did you see where this is on the countdown? Did you? And Rick D's weekly top 40, you remember that? Boy, yes. So welcome to Jamrock 2006. Next big hit coming up shortly. Love is my religion. Yep. That was a big one. You remember that song? Tell
No,
me.
I don't remember that song.
You don't
at all.
remember Love is my religion? That was a big one. Listen, the Marleys has made such a big impact at the Grammys. I swear the Marleys have some serious win, probably over 12 or 13 wins amongst themselves. Nice. Yep. The Marleys were just cleaning it up. 2008, Mind Control. Nice. But I don't know that song. Maybe I do know it, but it's not coming to me at this moment. So that's 2008. What about 2009?
I was going to say we need to see the album cover.
Oh. Oh. Sunshine in the midst of the forehead?
Yeah.
Is that saying the mind is full? So
No idea.
It's radiating?
No idea.
2009, guys. So I'm going to take you to 2009. We had Burning Spear with Jai's Real. 2010, Stephen Marley, again with Mind Control, but this time acoustic. And then Buju Banton, Before Dawn. Yeah, I remember his win, but I don't remember the name of the song. Yeah. 2011, guys, before we proceed, we had 2012, sorry, Stephen Marley with Revelation featuring The Root of Life, and then Jimmy Cliff Rebirth in 2013. So you see the Marleys were just taking it, whether they skip a year or they were back to back, they were just always in the Grammy do. Nice, I like the light. You almost look like Toby Mac. You know Toby Mac, the gospel singer?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right. But y'all, before we go to 2016, we gotta talk about 2014 when Ziggy won it again, and then with In Concert, and then in 2015 he won again with Fly Rasta, and then in 2016 we know. I saw Gramps Morgan speaking about this on Yendi's show. Yendi has a little show, and I saw him speaking about that. I wonder what song, I'm trying to remember the song that could have made. They had a big tune, but I don't remember that big tune. But the album cover is nice. Yes. And we knew this youngin came in good in 2020. Yeah. We don't rise on bus. Coffee come in like a rapture. And everybody gets captured. We have somebody in the studio that resembles Coffee. You know, when I see this individual, I think of Coffee.
No idea.
You don't know who resembles Coffee in the studio. Yeah, so Coffee took a 2020 indeed. Yeah, I remember that album cover. I actually met her in person, but when I see celebrities, I pretend like I don't see them, and I act like I am not aware of who they are. So I let them be. But she was on one of the evening flights back to Antigua, I guess, to do a show the next day in Antigua from St. Kitts. She was here, yeah. And yes, Kabaka Pyramid.
23.
I saw their acceptance speech this year. Pretty colorful jacket, I must say. Yeah, with the calling. Yeah, so that is it. They had anybody for 2001. They had Toots and the Maytals. Gotta Be Tough. I think that's a Jamaican group that was on from 1976 to 2020. I think they lost a few members. May their souls rest in peace. Yeah, and that's all I knew. And the other group that won in 2021, they're not from the Caribbean. They're from Arlington, Virginia. Soja, but they're a reggae group as well. So reggae has left our beautiful Caribbean of Jamaica and has made its way to the US. Yeah. But that's what everybody thinks. Where are you from? I'm from the Caribbean. Jamaica? Yeah.
St. Kitts, Nevis.
Exactly. There are more than one islands that make up the Caribbean, folks, but we know Jamaica makes it big. So Jamie, how interested are you in the Grammys? Not interested.
Not
Okay.
very.
Okay, so let me ask you it a different way. What impact do you, no, you might say they only think of Jamaica, right? Because when they hear of, because most of the reggae artists do come from Jamaica. We don't have much reggae artists.
Yeah, but it does a lot for the region. Because we're a region.
Yeah.
So it says that we're able to go toe-to-toe with the other artists that are recognized in other categories as well. So a lot of publicity for our region.
Masood Siddiqui, God may his soul continue to rest in peace. Was he a reggae artist? Because he would have been a big thing for St. Kitts.
Masood Siddiqui.
Yeah, because he had some nice reggae tunes back in the day. But I also wonder what other genre from the Caribbean would have achieved Grammyship.
Oh, that's something to look into.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Well, folks, there you have it for the artists from the Caribbean that received Grammy Awards. Notably, as I said, I think the Marleys, I know the Marleys have the most wins thus far. So Caribbean artists continue to excel. You never know what next genre of music they will nominate to receive an award. And with that said, see you on the other side of the break.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
with February being the month of love, it is bound to happen that some of us experience some form of rejection. Today, Jamie and I will be going through a few tips that may help you get over a rejection. So, Jamie, we have to recognize that rejection is part of life. Do you believe in this?
No, you said it. Rejection is a part of life.
Wow. Why does rejection have to be a part of life? Why?
Ask the experts. I don't know. Rejection can lead to positive change.
It sure can.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you push through the negative.
Yeah. And sometimes rejection means leaving your comfort zone, because sometimes we're comfortable doing what it is we are doing. So when you take that behavior somewhere else and you think it worked the last place, it doesn't work there. So rejection forces you to change and become better. That's what I find, because you won't make the same mistakes. Okay, since we're talking about Valentine's month, you were in a relationship with somebody, right? And they broke your heart so bad, it hurt. You want to go back there. But they don't want to go back there with you. They have moved on. And you'd be like, oh my God, she's so lucky, blah, 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 blah. After a few months, you realize her being lucky wasn't her being lucky. She got the exact same treatment and the exact same person that you had. So you're like, phew, thank God we didn't get back together. I dodged a bullet.
And that's positive change how?
That is positive change, because remember, you wanted to go back there. So the fact that you see that the common denominator that you all have together is a problem, you count your blessings. Because sometimes you think the grass may be greener on the other side, right? And then you realize, no, maybe that person that you think might be greener might have issues that this person doesn't have. I don't think there's any safe space when it comes to anything. Because everybody has their quirks, and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over ain't about that life. Let's say marriage. This one doesn't work out. You marry again. That one doesn't work out. You marry again. That one doesn't work out. In all three of those marriages, you are trying to fix the thing from that didn't work in the last marriage in this one. But that's not that person's personality. And then you keep going on and on and on. Look, some people are married 5, 6, 7, maybe 30 times because they like being married, but marriage just doesn't work out for them. Who is the common denominator of those 30 marriage? Either the male or female.
Yeah, all right.
This is true.
Coping with rejection. So you have to recognize that rejection is a part of life. That's the first part.
See, accept what happened.
You have to accept what happened as well.
I just said that. Yeah. So just accept it wasn't meant to be. It didn't work out, and just move it along and wait. Patiently sit and wait. Get to love you. Get to know you. Do you things. Yeah. Enjoy your space. Enjoy being solo, one, by yourself. Yep. Jamie, the average person, as soon as they're done with a relationship, in order to cope, they jump into the next one. How much sense does that make?
I don't know who does what. Listen.
So, Jamie, you've never been in one relationship and then because of heartbreak, jump into the other?
I don't know who does what, Cortez.
Okay.
All right. That's just the thing. Okay. If you're out there and we're going through the tips for you. If you're coping with rejection, we're going to help you. Well, these tips are going to help you. Not an expert, so I ain't going to help you. All right. So recognize that rejection is a part of life. That's 1, accept what happened. It's 2. 3, don't allow rejection to define you.
Don't. Y'all. Don't allow it to define you. As I said, do what works for you. Rejection is a part of life. Everything happens for a reason. You can be rejected in school by a certain subject, aka maths. For those of us that aren't strong in maths, are you going to feel bad that you're failing maths all the time? Maybe sometime, but eventually you'll be like, I don't even need maths anyways, right? But kids, study your maths. As hard as it is, practice, 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 practice makes perfect. But you can't keep beating yourself up over and over. Maybe math's not my strong point. Maybe I'm stronger in something else.
As we talk about rejection, we could apply it to more than relationships or even near academics. We can apply it to people who are looking for jobs in a market where the job market has contracted.
Yeah.
Rejection is going to be part of life. You send your applications in, they reject you. You're going to have to accept it and cope with it. Of course, you can't pretend it doesn't apply in that space anyway, because you can't pretend that you got the job. What are you going to do? Get up and go to the workplace, everything, and I'll let you in. You don't work there, right? So you accept what happened, you move on, and you move on to other things, right?
Yeah.
So you don't allow rejection to define you, which is what a lot of people do, especially in the context of relationships, I would imagine. You talk about marriages, you talk about divorce. Some people are defined by the divorce because their entire identity, it seems, or a lot of their meaning came from who they were as
Being
part
married.
of that unit, as part of that family unit, as part of that couple. Some instances, some people have even tried to become or say that they are revered by others to be a power couple. And so it's like, well, what do you do now that there's a split? Who am I outside of this relationship? Because you've been rejected, right? Some people have been rejected privately. Nobody knows why. Some people have been rejected publicly. Everybody thinks they know why. And that's a whole lot too, especially when others' opinions are coming down on you and enveloping you in something that really is none of their business, right?
Yeah.
So accept what happened if you can, and do not allow rejection to define you.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Indeed. And as I say, don't allow rejection to define you. As we spoke on that one already. Just be your best self. Move forward. Do something new. Try something new. Try something new. Don't do the same thing, because it didn't work the last time. So try something new. As I said, get to know yourself. Maybe do a little counseling. These are just my ideas. Spend alone time with yourself. Go to the spa. Get a pedi, get a mani, you know. Read a book. Try as best as possible. We are creatures of habits, and we remember things. Sometimes when we're sitting and we're overthinking, it comes up. So don't allow it to define you. Be your best self.
All right. Use romantic rejection as an opportunity to prevent another heartbreak. Yeah. Okay. I guess we're talking about romance here for reasons inexplicable to me. All right. So jumping right into another relationship to dull the pain of the first. You talked about that. Yada yada yada. It is what it is. No expert. Uncomfortable for me. Don't want to talk about it like some of you. But hey, we're doing it. All right. This is what you call perseverance.
Yeah, and they say don't insult them. So you can compliment the person you like 1 minute and completely change your mind because the words "no thanks," all they've said is no. It doesn't mean it's personal, and it doesn't mean necessarily that they did anything wrong. But we have to be mindful of what we do. If somebody doesn't like you, or they don't want you in their space, you don't gotta be mean. Just move on, as we said. Let it propel you to something better. Sometimes in life, it's not everything that we want we get, and sometimes what we think we need is not what we should have. So as there is a saying in Ghana that says, don't whine and meet the tango band, let the tango band come and meet you. So take your time and let life unfold in itself. That would be my advice to you.
All right, so we're on romantic rejection again. Don't insult them if they reject you, which is something that a lot of people do very easily as a defense mechanism. In any event, you can't compliment the person you like 1 minute and then completely change your mind because of the words "no thanks." Of course you can. They do it all the time. You're not supposed to. That's the difference. So semantics, right? All they've said is no, and it doesn't mean it's personal. Of course it's personal. You're the one who they said no to. That's not true. It is personal. I mean, they have their personal reasons for telling you no. But again, they're saying no to you. They might say yes to somebody behind you. So yeah, it's not personal. That's what you tell yourself when you reject it to feel better about it. Guess what? It is personal to them, personal to you. In any event, It doesn't mean that you should be affected by it adversely. It doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong either. You're just not some people's cup of tea. That happens all of the time.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have the flavors that they like. That's fine. They don't like yours either.
Yeah.
It's not like your life is a revolving door and whosoever will can come in. You are the gatekeeper of things like that, and so are other people.
Take your space.
And if they reject you, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're at fault, although you could be, because you've done something that really you shouldn't have done. But it doesn't mean that you're always at fault, right?
Fair enough.
And you shouldn't blame them for their choice, because they have the right to choose to reject you or to accept you, just like you have that right to choose to do the same with the next person.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind. Don't insult them.
Yeah, don't insult them at all. Indeed. And to realize that rejection is normal. It's a part of life. Even as kids growing up, you might have come to your parents with something and you're trying to sell it to them and they're not buying. And they are the one that brought you in the world. So, come on. Rejection happens because some kids are born and their parents don't want them, but they don't know at that point that they're being rejected. Eventually they're told, oh, you're adopted, your mom didn't want you, or blah, blah, blah. So rejection happens. We, as humans, we just have to find, in my opinion, find the best way to get over it and become stronger individuals and move on from what hurt us. So yeah.
And speaking of moving on, we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here with energy, blessings, and love. Voice your
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time to let you know what's happening. So, Crazy Rolls Ice Cream is having a Valentine's special, which will run from February 10th to 15th. There are 3 packages available. Sweetheart package, which includes a Lover's Cup milkshake, 1 red velvet rolled ice cream, one strawberry and marshmallow pop rather for $45. And there's also the My Love package for $34. You get 2 milkshakes and a free red velvet cupcake. And finally, there is the 2 Hearts, 1 Love package, where you'll get 2 red velvet rolled ice creams for only $25. So go out to Crazy Rolls to get yourself one of their Valentine's Day packages.
And I would say this is Valentine's Day on a budget you can afford. It's the thought that counts, so go out there and support. The Ministry of Agriculture is teaming up with the Small Business Development Center to host the Back to My Roots Agri-Night Market. Registration opened yesterday, the 6th February, and forms are available at the Ministry of Agriculture, the Public Market, the Department of Agriculture, Legrit, and the Department of Marine Resources. Remember I said registration is a mere $10 EC. This night market is being held on Thursday, the 23rd February 2023 at the Basel Public Market from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Stay tuned to the Ministry's Facebook page for more exciting updates.
And Sasha, the Art Academy is back better than ever before. And if you didn't know, this is a weekly after-school art program that includes drawing, painting, sculpting, and so much more. 2023 enrollment is open now, and there are programs available for the following 3 age groups: 4 to 6-year-olds, 7 to 12-year-olds, and 13 to 16-year-olds. Register via sashatheartiststudio.com or call 665-5458 for more information. And this is where we get ready to leave you. So we want to thank you for joining us for another edition of GMSKN. We invite you to tune in daily to find a little bit of everything for everyone, encouraging you to get your friends and family members to watch if you can. And also follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. On Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Like, subscribe, follow, share, and visit our website at www.studio327inc.com to learn more about GMSKN and Studio 327.
And leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And remember, if you have guests to recommend them, and also tell us what you would like to see on Good Morning SKN. And this is the part where we say see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Thank you for watching. Remember, it's Tuesday, so choose to be great today. Spread some love. Share a smile with someone. You never know what they are going through. Have a great day, guys. Bye.